Breaking news.
Right. So earlier today on Wrestling Observer Live, Jay White and Eddie Kingston, they were on that show, and it was nice of the Observer to help them work an angle on their show. That's kind of weird, but they were on the show with Brian Alvarez, and they were doing kind of a dual interview. And by the end of that interview, after some back and forth, it was determined that if this is now a loser leaves New Japan match. Now, last week, Jay White lost a loser leaves Japan match to Hikuleo. And I think the reason why they did that is because they already had this match with Kingston booked. And they knew that he was leaving. So they booked the match. He ends up losing to Hikuleo, and that gave them an out on him being able to wrestle in this match coming up at Battle in the Valley this weekend. And now that match is a loser leaves New Japan match. So, that obviously adds a new wrinkle. But we have it on good authority that, and multiple people have been reporting this, that former multiple time IWGP champion Jay White is on his way out of New Japan. He's scheduled to face Eddie Kingston this Saturday in San Jose at the Battle in the Valley show in a loser leaves New Japan match. Multiple reports have confirmed that he is in fact leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, he's possibly going to AEW. And believe it or not, he actually teased coming back to Impact, as he has history with both companies. So we know that he was in for like the first quarter of last year. But I'm hearing from two different people that are in the know. So I have two different friends who have like contacts within the company, right? So this isn't me like talking to a direct source. So I think that should be noted, because I'm not a scoops guy. I don't want to befriend somebody that works in the company and then try to use them for scoops. I just don't even know how to start that process, right? But I have like friends within the media, and they're telling me this stuff, right? And so they know people. So I was told that, at least from two different people, that he's going to WWE. That's what they said. Now, one person has stated that he has a verbal commitment with WWE in place already, because he can't actually sign a deal yet because he's still under contract in New Japan. And so, but they've already verbally committed that he is coming in. All signs are pointing towards he's coming in. And then the other person has stated that he's actually going to be starting on the main roster. So Jay White's not going to NXT. And I think that some people had, I guess maybe would pontificate be the word. Some people thought that he might be headed to NXT if he were to go to WWE, but no, he is main roster bound. Look, this guy is tailor-made for WWE now that Vince McMahon is out of the promotion. And that could change like rather quickly, by the way. I was talking to a guy just the other day, and Vince is already starting to kind of get his hands back into stuff. And there are some rumors that more cuts might be down the line, like that, but Triple H is pushing him back against that. So we're going to see how all that shakes out. But if with Vince not in creative and Triple H in charge, WWE is a good place for Jay White. I think there's a lot of upward mobility for Jay White in this promotion. Especially with, a lot of the biggest stars are like part-timers, and he's a guy that can come in. He's 30 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He's as good now as he's ever going to be. I think this is the perfect time for him to make the move. Now, a lot of AEW fans are upset about this. They wanted Jay White to come to their promotion. And there are some of them that just like, hey, look, I just like Jay White and I like AEW. So I want the guys that I like to come to the promotion that I like the most. That makes total sense. And then there's other people who are like upset about this. And like, it was like I had stated earlier with the Mercedes Moné, with the Mercedes Moné story. They feel entitled to any big star that becomes a free agent to come to their promotion. They feel like they're the fucking Yankees, right? Remember back in the mid 2000s and the early 2010s when the Yankees would sign up every damn free agent and then and go win the World Series, and they thought that, hey, they were just entitled to that stuff. But and then all of a sudden the Dodgers got sold, and then, hey, we got competition for free agents, and now the Cubs are big and the Red Sox are big, and a lot of people are making a lot of money. changed the whole game of baseball. Well, AEW came along and WWE started purging all this talent, and all the top names that were getting purged, AEW was picking them up one by one by one by one. And then all of a sudden Adam Cole doesn't resign. And then, they bring in CM Punk, and then Bryan Danielson, he doesn't get cut. He actually chooses to go to AEW. And they signed so many people, and the show has gone down year over year, to where like this week's not a crazy bad week, but it was one of the worst rated shows in a little while. AEW Dynamite. And what's the Band-Aid? What's the fix? Sign another free agent. That's no, I'm not saying Tony's saying this. This is what the fans are saying. It's like, hey, we need Jay White. He can help boost business. Well, I'm here to tell you that I don't think Jay White boosts either business right now. He's not there yet. He could be. He could get there. But if you bring in Jay White at AEW, he's already been there before, and they didn't really treat him like he was a star. It was like, hey, this guy from New Japan. He's going to have a couple matches here. He didn't actually like do anything significant when he came over, and they didn't really treat him like he was special when he was there. And they didn't treat him bad, but they didn't really treat him like he was a special star. And to that point, neither did Impact. Like they made it seem like when he first appeared that he was special, and then he was just on the mid card. He didn't main event any shows. He ended up losing to Chris Sabin on one of the episodes. Like he was just a guy on the show after a while. They didn't treat him like he was a big deal either. And maybe that's just because he was New Japan's guy, and they knew they couldn't get behind him, and he was only in for a couple of months, so they just wanted to get some shows out of him, and that makes sense. But I mean, that's what it was. So they neither AEW or Impact, when they had Jay White, treated him like a huge star. And I'm sure there was lots of reasons for that. But with WWE, he's going to have a fresh start. The team there is out to prove a point, that they can be a place where good wrestlers can come back to and make a lot of money. And they're willing to do that. And I think that this is a good spot. Look, they got, AJ Styles is in his mid 40s. I don't think he's going to be around much longer. Vince doesn't, other than the guys that would wrestle once a year, Vince isn't, WWE, not Vince, WWE is not really keeping people working regularly into their 50s, right? So a lot of these guys are getting older. Jay's like 30, and he is he is awesome. He can be a top guy. But is he going to be a boom to business right away? No, absolutely not. Will he move some tickets in Australia? Probably. I would think so. Australia, New Zealand. If they did a big show in New Zealand, would he be a big star there? Yeah, I would think so. But right away, no. But I think that they bring him in, and I don't think it'll take very long before they see just how good this guy is on the mic and the ring, everything. I think his style is more suited to WWE. He works kind of that, he works kind of a WWE style. He doesn't do strong style, and he doesn't do the indie style that AEW does. He kind of has more of a WWE style, so I think he's going to work well there, man. And I'm kind of excited for him. I'm excited for WWE. Look, WWE's on fire right now. Numbers are up all over the place. They got two top baby faces right now, which is incredible. You sometimes you don't even get one, and they got two needle moving baby faces in the promotion of Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn, and they got the top heel in all the business in Roman Reigns. And the top champion in the entire business in Roman Reigns. So they're on a roll, man. And I'm excited to see them coming up at WrestleMania. So I take my fair share of shots at WWE when they do good stuff, though. I got to say that they do good stuff. And WWE has been on fire lately, and looks like they're bringing in another big star. So kudos to them. What's interesting about it is that Jay is going to wrestle Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is a AEW contracted talent, and this would be an opportunity. And this is from John Muse, by the way. This is going to be an opportunity for an AEW talent to beat a WWE talent, to get revenge from when Dragon Lee defeated FTR in AAA, when a WWE talent, Dragon Lee, defeated FTR in AAA for the tag team titles, and immediately afterwards WWE announced that Dragon Lee had signed, and that he was already signed before that match. So they got that out there, and the petty wars is what I'm here for. I'm here for the petty, and I hope that Petty Khan, who is like the crown prince of petty, let's give him some fucking credit. This guy is about as petty as they get. I hope that he tweets out, "Hey, look, AEW star defeats WWE star in New Japan ring." I think that would be appropriate here. I think that would actually make sense.